The war had lasted 12 years. No one remembered what peace felt like. The sky above Karth Prime was always red from drifting ash. Cities stood hollow and broken. The air tasted like metal and dust. Humanity had survived by building stronger weapons and thicker armor. That was how they faced the Dominion. Captain Elias Vaughn was the symbol of that survival. He wore a Titan-class warsuit forged in orbit around a dying star. The armor stood 3 meters tall. Black alloy plates layered over reactive shields. Plasma cannons rested on each arm. His visor glowed a cold blue. When he walked, the ground trembled. The Dominion feared him. Human soldiers worshipped him. Children on distant colonies learned his name before they learned history. Vaughn never removed the armor in public. Some believed there was no man left inside. Only the machine remained. The final battle began at dawn. Dominion carriers split the clouds as they descended. Their hulls shimmered like liquid glass. Swarms of drones poured into the ruins of the capital. Human defense lines broke within minutes. Missiles streaked across the sky. Towers collapsed in sheets of flame. Vorn dropped from orbit like a falling star. He struck the central plaza, and the shockwave shattered every window for kilometers. He rose from the crater and opened fire. Plasma tore through drones in waves. Each step crushed alien steel. His cannons burned until the air itself screamed. But the Dominion had saved something for him. From the largest carrier descended a single figure. No armor, no visible weapon. She looked almost fragile against the smoke-filled sky. Pale skin, silver eyes. A simple white suit that moved like living silk. She landed softly across the plaza from him. Every human sensor locked onto her. Threat markers flashed red. Vaughn raised his cannons. She did not run. She did not attack. She simply walked toward him. Her species was known as the Rumors called them strategists of the Dominion. Some whispered they were priests. Others said they were weapons shaped like people. No human had faced one and lived. VOR and fired. The plasma bolt crossed the distance in less than a second. It struck her chest. The explosion swallowed her in light. When it faded, she was still standing. A faint shimmer surrounded her body. Not a shield. Something softer. The energy from the blast flowed around her like water around stone. She tilted her head as if curious. Vaughn fired again and again. The plaza became a storm of blue fire. The ground melted into glass. She kept walking, for the first time in 12 years. Elias Vaughn felt something shift inside his chest. Not fear, confusion. She stopped an arm length away from him. Up close, she seemed smaller than he expected. Her eyes reflected the burning city. There was no hatred in them. Only focus. The suit scanned her at maximum resolution. No weapons detected. No power spikes. No mechanical implants. She lifted her hand. Human command screamed through. Vaughn's come channel. Fire. Retreat. Overload the core. Do something. He hesitated for half a second. She barely touched him. Her fingers brushed the black alloy of his chest plate. No force, no visible energy. Just contact. The armor shattered, not from an explosion, not from impact. The plates separated along every seam at once. Bolts dissolved. Circuits unraveled into threads of light. The massive suit fell away from his body in pieces. Shields flickered out. Cannons hit the ground with heavy THUDS. Ilias Vaughn stood in the ruins, wearing only the thin combat layer beneath the Titan shell. Gasps filled the command channel. Across the battlefield, humans froze. Dominion drones halted mid-assault. The Seraphel lowered her hand. Vaughn stared at his bare hands. For 12 years, he had lived inside that machine. It amplified his strength. It hid his scars. It turned him into a legend. Now he felt the wind on his skin. He felt the heat of burning metal. He felt small. She spoke. Her voice entered his mind without sound. "We did not come to destroy you." Vaughn's jaw tightened. "You invaded our worlds. We answered your expansion. We answered your weapons. We answered your fear." He looked around at the shattered city, at fallen soldiers from both sides. "This is survival." She stepped closer. Her presence felt heavy yet calm. "Your armor is survival. Your cannons are survival, but they are also walls. You do not see beyond them." He clenched his fists. "You just disarmed me in the middle of a war. I showed you that your greatest weapon can be removed with a touch. If we wished extinction, you would already be gone." Above them, Dominion carriers held position. Human fleets waited in high orbit with primed warheads. One signal could end millions of lives. "Why shatter the armor?" Vaughn asked. "Because you believe it makes you strong." Anger flared in him. "It does. It makes you loud. It makes you feared. It does not make you unbreakable." He took a slow breath. Without the suit, he felt exposed, human. The plaza seemed vast around him. "You could kill me now," he said. "Yes." She did not move. "Then why not finish it?" "Because humanity is not the armor." Silence stretched between them. Smoke drifted through broken streets. In the distance, a building collapsed with a low rumble. She extended her hand again, this time toward him, not the fallen suit. Elias Vaughn had led orbital strikes. He had ordered retreats that cost thousands of lives. He had not hesitated in battle since his first year of command. Now, his heart pounded harder than during any drop assault. If he refused, the war would continue. If he accepted, he might doom his species. "Trust is a risk," she said gently, "as is war." He thought of the children who knew his name, of the colonies stripped for resources to feed the war machine, of the endless cycle of attack and response. Slowly he reached out. His bare hand met hers. There was no surge of power, no hidden blade, only warmth. Across the planet, weapons powered down. Dominion drones descended to the ground and went still. In orbit, human admirals stared at silent sensors as enemy locks disengaged. The Seraphel's silver eyes softened. "We have studied you for decades. You are fierce. You adapt. You endure. But you wrap yourselves in metal and call it identity." Vaughn looked at the broken Titan armor scattered across the plaza. Without it, he felt lighter, smaller, real. "What happens now?" he asked. "Now we speak with our cannons between us." She released his hand. Within hours, ceasefire signals spread across the system. Human and Dominion commanders opened direct channels for the first time. The Seraphel remained at Vaughn's side as proof of intent. News of the shattered armor traveled faster than any fleet. Some called it humiliation. Others called it a miracle. Elias Vaughn stood before the Global Assembly 2 days later, not in a war suit, not behind reinforced glass, Just a man in a simple uniform. They can break our armor with a touch, he said to the billions watching. But they did not break us. They showed us that strength is more than firepower. He paused and looked into the cameras. For 12 years, I believed the suit made me humanity's shield. I was wrong. Humanity was the shield. The people, the lives we protect, the future we choose. Beside him, the Seraphel watched in silence. Peace would not be simple. Distrust ran deep. Scars would remain. But the war ended not with a final blast, but with a single touch. Years later, the shattered pieces of the Titan armor rested in a museum. Children walked past the cracked plates and warped cannons. They asked why it broke so easily. Guides told them the truth. It did not break from weakness. It broke because someone proved that even the strongest walls can fall without violence. And in that moment, humanity learned that being unarmored did not mean being defenseless. Sometimes it meant being brave enough to feel the world with your own hands. Asterisk.